February 9th, 2004. The White Mountains don't ease into night, they drop into it. One moment, there's still color in the sky. The next, everything is swallowed by a cold so sharp it feels deliberate. The kind of cold that doesn't just surround you, it presses in. Route 112, the Concomagus Highway, cuts straight through that isolation. During the day, it's cynical, almost peaceful. But at night, especially in winter, it becomes something else entirely. No streetlights, no signal, no houses for miles. Just forest, stretching endlessly in both directions. That night, at approximately 7:27 p.m., a black satin sedan lost control on an icy bend and slid into a snowbank. The driver was a 21-year-old nursing student, Maura Murray. A local bus driver, Butch Atwood, stopped to help. He later said she seemed shaken but conscious. He offered to call police. She refused. That detail would stay with investigators, because minutes later, when he reported the accident anyway, and police arrived shortly after, Maura Murray was gone. No clear footprints leading away from the scene. No signs of struggle. No evidence of another vehicle. Just her car, abandoned, still warm, and the kind of silence that makes you feel like you missed something important. Daniel Harper had no connection to Maura Murray. He didn't know her name. He didn't hear about the crash. He didn't follow missing person cases. He was just a winter camper who had made the same drive dozens of times before. Experienced, careful, not the type to take unnecessary risks. And yet, that night, he stayed longer than he should have. He parked his truck at a quiet turnout not far from the crash, site close enough that later he would replay that detail over and over in his mind. At the time, it meant nothing. He turned off the engine, and the silence came in immediately. Not peaceful, not calming, heavy, like the forest was holding its breath. Daniel sat there, watching the fog of his breath gather and fade on the windshield. The cold crept in fast without the engine running, but he didn't turn it back on. Something about the stillness felt off. He checked the time. 10:38 p.m. Too late to start anything meaningful. Too early to justify leaving. That's when he heard it. At first, it slipped into his awareness so quietly he almost ignored it. A sound, thin, distant. Help. Daniel frowned slightly, tilting his head. Wind. It had to be wind. Cold air moving through bare branches, bending sound into something almost human. He exhaled, leaned back. Then it came again. Clearer, closer. Help me. This time, there was no mistaking it. A woman's voice. Not far away, not echoing, but placed, as if it came from a specific point just beyond the road. Daniel felt his chest tighten. He opened the truck door slowly. The cold hit him like a wall. Snow crunched sharply beneath his boots as he stepped out, scanning the darkness beyond the roadside. The trees stood packed together, their branches heavy with snow, forming a dense, uneven barrier between the road and whatever lay beyond. He listened. Nothing. Then a scream, short, sudden, cut off so quickly it felt unnatural. Daniel reacted before he could think. He reached into the truck, grabbed his flashlight, and stepped forward. "Hello," he called out. "Are you okay?" No answer. His instincts pushed back hard now. This was wrong. Everything about this was wrong. The time, the temperature, the location. But that scream, it hadn't sounded far, and it hadn't sounded fake. He hesitated at the edge of the tree light, then stepped in. The moment he entered the woods, the world behind him disappeared. The road, the truck, the open space, all of it swallowed. His flashlight beam became the only thing anchoring him to reality, a narrow cone of visibility cutting through the dark. Snow clung to branches overhead. The air felt thicker here, quieter in a way that didn't feel natural. "Hello?" He called again. His voice didn't travel the way it should have. It didn't echo. It just stopped. And then, over here, the whisper came from his right. Clear, soft, close. Daniel turned immediately, sweeping the flashlight across the trees. Nothing. No figure. No movement. No disturbance in the snow. He took a few slow steps in that direction anyway. That's when he smelled it. Faint, but unmistakable. Alcohol. Out of place. Wrong. His light dropped slightly as he scanned the ground. Something dark broke the white surface of the snow. Half buried, he crouched. A glove. Small. Feminine. frozen solid. Daniel picked it up, turning it in his hand as unease settled deeper into his chest. "Ma'am," he called again, louder now. "If you can hear me, I'm right here." No answer, but the silence had changed. It no longer felt empty. It felt occupied. Grunt. Behind him, Daniel froze. Another step. Slow. Measured. Close enough to be undeniable. He turned sharply, raising the flashlight. The beam cut across untouched snow. No footprints. No movement. No one there. His breathing became louder now. Faster, breaking the unnatural stillness. And then, "Don't leave me." The voice came from directly behind him, close enough to feel. Not shouted. Not strained. Just there. Daniel didn't turn this time. Something in him refused. Instead, he took a slow step backward. "I'm getting help," he said, trying to steady his voice. "Just stay where you are." Silence. Then, "Please." Softer now, but closer. The shift was subtle, but absolute. Up until that moment, Daniel believed he was looking for someone. Now he was certain something was wrong. Not confusing. Not unclear. Wrong. The kind of wrong your body recognizes before your mind can explain it. He turned and ran. Branches scraped against him as he pushed through the trees, his boots slipping against uneven snow. His flashlight beam jerked wildly with each step, creating flashes of movement that weren't really there. Behind him, the voice followed. Not chasing, not gaining, but never falling behind. "Help me, please. Don't go." It stayed at the same distance, always just out of reach, as if it didn't need to catch him. Daniel broke through the tree line and stumbled back onto the road. Nearly losing his footing as he rushed toward his truck, everything snapped back into place. The silence felt normal again. Flat. Empty. Safe at least compared to what he had just left behind. He yanked the door open, climbed inside, and locked it immediately. His hands shook as he started the engine. Warm air began to push through the vents. He stared straight ahead. He didn't look back. Not once.
An urgent bulletin has been issued. Authorities are asking anyone with information
At home,
regarding
he
the
tried
missing
to
woman
dismiss
to
it.
please call
Sound
911
distortion,
immediately.
cold air, stress, anything that made sense. But something stayed with him, a weight he couldn't shake. So he turned on the TV, and that's when he saw her. Maura Murray,
We are
missing.
interrupting this
Last
broadcast
seen on
with
Route 1,
breaking news.
car abandoned.
Officials have
No
just
trace.
confirmed the presence
Daniel
of an
felt the
unseen
cold
threat.
again. This time, it didn't come from outside, because suddenly, the voice made sense. The next morning he returned with search teams. He told them everything. The voice, the direction, the location. They searched thoroughly, carefully, methodically. They found nothing. No footprints, no glove, no sign anyone had entered the woods. But Daniel kept one detail to himself, because he didn't understand it, and he wasn't sure he wanted to. When he got back into his truck the night before, the glove was still in his hand. He didn't remember picking it up again. Didn't remember carrying it out, but it was there, resting on the passenger seat, melting slowly in the warmth. And the last thing the voice said, right before he reached the road, didn't sound like fear anymore. It sounded calm, almost accepting. Too late. End of episode 1.